Hey, welcome to another episode of Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Today's topic is the 6 best quote unquote fake wrestlers in pop culture. Ooh, what a topic, y'all. What is a quote unquote fake wrestler? Well, it is a professional wrestler who does not actually exist within professional wrestling. Now, what does that mean? Well, Sami Zayn is a professional wrestler and he exists. He is a human being who performs as that person on WWE television. MJF is a character on AEW television. He is a professional wrestler. He is a real professional wrestler. A fake professional wrestler is someone like, say, Zangief from Street Fighter, where he is a wrestler. Well, I don't know if he's a professional wrestler, but he's definitely a wrestler, but he doesn't exist. He is not a real person. He is just a character. He is a facsimile of a professional wrestler. So now that you have context, let us get into our list. Here is the 6 best fake professional wrestlers. Best is in quotes as well. And they are in no particular order because we are just winging it right now, folks. This is a fun podcast for you and me. Number 1, King from the Tekken series. Now, I'll put King as number 1. I think he is the best fake professional wrestler. Why? Tekken is amazing. Tekken's a great game. King is one of those technical, hard characters to use because his biggest strength is chaining together moves, combos, getting you in locks and holds and flipping and dipping and throwing you around and putting you in arm bars and stuff. There are combos with King that you can start the match with and end the entire match with a full combo. It's amazing. If you watch anyone do it online, I believe the best King player the last time I checked, which was a long time ago, the best one was Little Majin. He's supposed to be one of the best King players in Tekken. If you watch him play any of his old matches, he can catch people with a combo and end a round with a single combo. King is extremely difficult to use. I've tried to use him before. I even got a little good, and by a little good, I mean not good at all. But for me, it was good. Like I was able to actually pull off some of his moves. But alas, I'm terrible at Tekken. That doesn't mean I'm not buying Tekken 8 and going to try and use King. But yes, King is an amazing looking character. He walks around with the belt. If you ever remember Tekken 2, he did it for the kids. He's an amazing wrestler, and Armor King was always like the evil mirror version, but they had the same moveset, more or less. I think he's different now. But King has a great look. He has a tiger head. He has a championship belt, and in Tekken 7, you can dress him up however you want. So King, definitely number 1. Number 2, Ricochet from Mucha Lucha. If you haven't seen Mucha Lucha, it's a fantastic cartoon from the early 2000s about a luchador school in Mexico with a bunch of kids who have, distinct abilities, I would say. They all have like special, they have to they have to develop their special moves. And in school, there was a kid named Roach, I think his name was. Very hazy on that guy's name, but I know his breath smelled a lot. And then there was a technical girl. Man, I don't remember any of their names. I just remember Ricochet, the main character. He always had these very elaborate moves, and he had a doll that he talked to who was like a luchador toy, which was very cool to me because I grew up with wrestling toys, which I feel are vital to a young man or woman's upbringing. Wrestling toys will shape the future. But definitely go check that cartoon out. I don't know if it's playing anywhere, but it's definitely. But Ricochet and his little cadre of tiny wrestlers was definitely a fun show. All the faculty in the school were all Lucha Libre wrestlers. They all had specific special moves and personalities. It was really fun. It was a unique cartoon for the time, especially. It was like a professional wrestling cartoon on what would be considered like prime time for kids. It was on like Saturday mornings, I believe. I have no research into when it was playing. I just remember watching a lot of it and being very surprised that it even existed. So yeah, Ricochet, number 2. Number 3, a personal favorite, Bonesaw from Spider-Man, the original Tobey Maguire movie. Bonesaw, played by Macho Man Randy Savage, Randy Poffo, in what I would consider his defining role as a professional wrestler. So you would think Macho Man would be that character. No, it was definitely the 6 or 7 minutes he played Bonesaw in the Spider-Man movie. I think any nerd who watched that Spider-Man movie back in the day will quote, "Bonesaw is ready." It's definitely something I've yelled at people, at friends. I've gotten weird looks from folks, and I think the only person who's ever reciprocated a Bonesaw call back at me is Dad's First Time. Go check out Dad's First Time on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dad's First Time. He does an amazing Macho Man impression. He's done full streams as Macho Dads, is what he calls himself. And he has thrown Bonesaw references back at me. Bonesaw was a fantastic wrestler. It was like he had a gimmick match, which I always think is amazing. He has like his own like not Hell in a Cell. He had a cage match where he ran things. It was fantastic. He got to beat the hell out of Tobey Maguire with a chair, and definitely should have moved that character into actual professional wrestling. I would have loved to see Macho Man become Bonesaw on WCW or come back to WWE as that. Rest in peace, and drop the big elbow on Jesus. Number 4, Nacho Libre. I got this entry from a buddy of mine named Sean. Go check him out. The Tech Tempest on YouTube. I think it's youtube.com/@The Tech Tempest. I'm not too sure, but you can find him. He has great tech videos on there. He mentioned Nacho Libre, the movie with Jack Black, where he plays a priest who moonlights as a masked lucha libre to win money to help his not orphanage, his parish or whatever. Again, the details are super hazy, but it was definitely a great movie. It had its down points, but anytime he put on the mask and actually did some wrestling, it was great. And the big bad, the golden dude with the big puffy lips, I always have the image of his face putting on chapstick before the match. Friggin' hilarious. And anytime Jack Black spoke in that terrible broken Spanish accent, it was equal parts offensive and amazing. So Nacho Libre is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, we're going to say it is Incineroar, the Pokemon. Now, this another entry from Dad's First Time. He pointed this out to me. His kids love Pokemon, and I'm sure that's the only reason why he knows about Incineroar. I Googled this Pokemon and legit wanted to play Pokemon after I saw him. It's this big, fiery Pokemon with a belt that is literally made of fire. So he has like a championship belt that is made of fire. If this character is in the terrible new Pokemon game, I might try it. So Pokemon is a weird world where there are just legit like people in it that just kind of look like Pokemon. They're just people, and this is one of them, Incineroar. I don't know any of his moves. All I know is he looks dope, and I didn't want to choose Machamp, who is obviously the best fake professional wrestler in Pokemon. But Incineroar is a more interesting champ, interesting choice. We have, 30 seconds left? Last one, Armika from Street Fighter. Definitely a professional wrestler. Definitely a fantastic entry. She lives in the WWE style of wrestling. Her outfit is super skimpy. Her moveset is weird, but and she's very difficult to use, but she's definitely a fantastic character and a professional wrestler. That's 6 of the best fake wrestlers in pop culture. I'll catch you guys next time. And remember, I'm your friend.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.